Hi, Patricia Wooster here, and today we're going to discuss why avoiding using your story in your book may be the best idea. Now, I know this goes against a lot of the conventional wisdom that you hear about self-publishing a book, and a lot of people even lead with this when they try to sell you on working with them and how you should share your story and get your story out to the world. And I'm not necessarily discounting using any of your story, but there's a way to use it and a way not to use it. So to give you an example, if you went shopping for a house, and you walk into this house and it is full of family photos and it's super customized to that family and it's decorated corner to corner, then you might have a hard time visualizing yourself living there. And that's why a stager will come in and tell you, remove some of those personal items so that the person coming through can kind of see themselves and their family making a home there. This is the same way with your book. So if you think about it, if you start your book, say in the introduction in the first chapter, and you start telling your entire story, so maybe your book's about vulnerability, and you tell this whole story about the trajectory of your life and your experience with vulnerability, then your reader may have a hard time visualizing themselves connecting with that because maybe their story is totally different, right? Or say you're writing a book about how to start a small business for realtors, right? And somebody goes in and tells you exactly how they started theirs and how they marketed and what the name of it is and go into all these extreme details. And you may say, well, that doesn't really fit my circumstance. Mine's a little bit different of what I'm trying to do. And they may think this writer doesn't really understand who I am. This isn't the book for me. So what you've done is you've niched yourself out from your reader. So what you need to do is you need to look at it from your reader's perspective. When they go to a bookstore and go online and look for a resource, it's because they have a need, a struggle, or a challenge, or something that they're looking for, and they're choosing a book based on what author they feel like can address that need. So when they're buying the book, it's all about them. That's what the reader is looking for. It's just like when we go shopping for something, we are buying something for us. We're not really that concerned about the designer's needs or the creator's needs or the corporation. We're thinking about ourselves in that moment. And that's what your reader does when they pick up your book. Now, they do want to know that you understand their struggles or issues so that you either have credibility, you're a professional in the industry, or you've experienced it or something. And you can allude to some of that or tell a bit of your story as to why you're writing the book in your introduction. And that's the great way to frame it, is why I wrote this book. It's because I see my patients or my customers struggling with this, or I went through this experience, but not getting into the intricate details of it. You still want to keep it very broad so that you can attract as many readers as possible within that niche, and that they know that you're going to be able to provide information that is going to help them. So that's all about making it about them. As they read your book and as they feel like you are connecting with them and that you are servicing them and you are providing them information that will help them, they will want to know more about you. And this is when you can start taking your relevant experiences and stories. They still have to apply to that number one result that you're delivering at the end of your book. But you can start letting more details out about yourself because at that point they're interested. They want to know more about you. And you can get more specific in things. But you also have to remember, think about if you watch a documentary on something, or you read a book about something, or you hear about something, anything, and it's interesting to you, what do? You immediately go online and you Google that person. They'll go to your website. They'll visit your LinkedIn. They'll visit your social profiles. They'll do whatever they can to sort of investigate who you are. And those are great places, like your bios, or to even do a blog post about your story and how it applies. But where it's not is at the beginning of your book. because you're just going to sort of like turn people off. And think about the books that you love that you've picked up from the bookstore that are kind of in your category, or personal development or business books or anything. And are those people immediately leading with their entire story? They're not. And we've got the Oprahs of the world and the Tony Robbins and Brene Brown and Brendon Burchard and all these people that have amazing life experience stories from their origin that kind of led them to created the person that they are, to the experiences they've had because of their success. And they don't lead with those stories. They wait till we feel a connection with them, and they understand that they're big enough people now that we wouldn't immediately feel connected to somebody, because most of us don't live their life. You know, we're not on a private plane, and we're not meeting movie stars and things. So that would almost be a turnoff. No, they wait till we connect with them on a smaller scale and we feel like they understand what we need. Then we want to know more about them. So anyway, if you enjoyed these tips and you'd like to hear more, please subscribe to my channel. And in the description below, I've got links to all kinds of free resources to help you on your writing journey. And also, please go to Facebook. We have the Right to Publish group with Wooster Media. On there, we collaborate, we ask questions, we brainstorm, and it's a way for me to connect with you directly in your projects. So I've also put that link in the description too. And until then, remember, small intentional actions lead to a huge impact. Talk soon.